Hey, Warrior Saints, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Father Chris here on this gloriousness of that is a Tuesday in April. For those of our friends who are in the Roman Catholic or Protestant faiths, happy Palm Sunday, belated to you a couple of days ago. And for our Orthodox brothers and sisters, it is coming up this Sunday. God bless you. I can't believe we're already in Holy Week, or almost in Holy Week, I should say. It went fast. All right, so we're talking today again about clarity. I've been working on this a lot in my mind, and I want to share with you guys some questions that we need to ask ourselves to find clarity in our lives. You know, it's easy to default into ambiguity, right? We talked yesterday about this wonderful book called Clarity First by a lady named Karen Martin, and she is a clarity researcher. She's been working on, focus and purpose and clarity for, as she tells, over 30 years. And as I read the book, it offered me all kinds of insights. And one of them is that we kind of like ambiguity because it's easier. It's just like, all right, let's just figure it out. I have fallen into that trap myself. But I've decided, especially since reading her book, I'm not doing it no more, right? Like, it's time to get our acts together and focus and find our purpose so that we can do our purpose. Now, the things of the world really are distracting and really wanting to, let's just say this, the things that we encounter in our lives in the world definitely assist in the ambiguity that we may be feeling in our own lives. St. Paul in 2 Corinthians exposes this problem from eons gone by, that this is not a new problem, but there are so many distractions. And St. Paul talks about the culprit who is leading to this distraction, the god of this world. Listen to what he says in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. In their case, the god of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel of the glory of Jesus Christ. So their minds have been blinded. And as I read that, every time I read it, I'm like, dude, he's talking to me, right? Like, I didn't even exist when he wrote 2 Corinthians, but somehow he's talking to me. Sometimes I look at all the stuff going on and I'm blinded to clarity, blinded to the focus on the gospel of Jesus Christ. And there's a lot going on in our lives. I get that. As a married man with children, there's a tremendous amount of things that go with that. Beautiful things, but a lot of extra work and time commitments. As the pastor of a parish, there's a ton of things to go with that. As the founder of the Warrior Saints movement, I mean, there's all kinds of things that go with that. And all of those things are beautiful, but time consuming, distracting. That doesn't even include if I want to engage in relationships and friendships where we would go out and have a cigar together and hang out together and talk together. It doesn't include time with my extended family. It doesn't include time to rest, to think. It doesn't include social media time and all that kind of stuff where we get lost, right? Like, I mean, that's a huge vortex of time wasting. All of those things that go around. And I thought, like, all right, it's time for me to get serious and focused. And so that's what all of this is about. As I'm going through that exercise myself, I want to bring all of these things to your attention, because I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not alone, and I'm sure that you all are struggling with some of this lack of clarity yourselves. So how do we deal with that? How do we overcome this, the god of the world that's leading to this blinded mind of the things around us of the gospel? There are three questions you got to ask. And I think you need to ask them in this order: what, how, why? And I'll go through the exercise with you the way that I did it. Again, I get this I don't get it from Karen Martin in her book Clarity. It actually comes from a gentleman named Simon Sinek, who wrote a great book called Start With Why. It's a fabulous book. And Karen Martin in her book cites this. She says, like, Sinek nailed it. And so what is what you do, how is how you do it, but your purpose, your why is most important. So as you're going through in your own life, I'm going to give you three questions you got to ask, and in this order, to help you discern why you are doing what you do, i.e. your purpose. So for Warrior Saints, I've been asking myself and our team these questions for a long time, but I think I finally settled. Probably change tomorrow, but at least today I'm finally settled. What do we do? What does the Warrior Saints movement actually do? And what we actually do is to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, specifically to men, right? That's what we do. We teach the gospel of Jesus Christ. We call that a crucifixional life. It is done under the metaphor of the Warrior Saints. It is what we do. So how do we do that, right? That's the next question. Now we know what we do, right? The what is not all things. It's the actual content, right? The if I could say it, the product or the service. That's how business talks about it. So now that we know that, how do we do that? How we do that is through a couple of or a few media outlets, right? Like you're watching us on some social media outlet. We teach on Facebook and on Gab and on YouTube and our parish website and all the Warrior Saints stuff. Like we use those social media platforms. We also do so in our church services where we preach sermons or the Bible studies that we do in our church. We are teaching through these different the way we teach or let's say this, how we teach the gospel of Jesus Christ is through online media, and we write books, right? So like our book, The Way of the Warrior Saints. So that's how we do it. But why we do it is it is the most important thing because it guides all the things that we do. It sets clarity for us. Our why at the Warrior Saints movement is to help transform the lives of men. I mean, that's it. Like the problem that we're hoping to solve and the transformation that we're hoping to make is, and everybody knows that guy who's like 30 some years old, but he still lives in his mom's basement watching porn, playing video games with no job, no woman, no future, and no hope, right? Like that guy he's busted up and he's not really who he's supposed to be. And that's what we're going after, to transform the lives. Why we do what we do is to reach that, specific gentleman. And thank God, others have also, come together and embraced it. But that's why we do what we do. And so when that why became clear and we were able to ask ourselves, we're doing this to help those men become full men, to leave mediocrity behind. Well, how do we want to do that? I don't know. We like, teaching online, right? Like, I mean, we like the platforms that it provides. All right, well, then what are we going to do that? Oh, it's simple. We're going to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, in our video series. And there it is, right? This is just the process that we went through. For you, ask yourself those questions. Why are we doing what we do? Like, really, why are we doing it? And once you start with why, you're then able to discern how you're going to do that in your own lives. And then the specific tasks, the actions are the what. The what is it's important, but it's the least important until you know your why. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, as I'm working through it, I share it with you because I think it's important in your businesses, your marriages, your life, yourself, right? Like we have to ask those questions of ourselves. So just because you may be, a stay-at-home mom or a student in school or a business person or an employee and not a business owner, but you work for someone who has already done it, doesn't mean that you don't have a why, how, what in your own lives. So take some time, take the opportunity to really prayerfully and quietly sit there and ask yourself or selves those questions. Love you, beautiful people. It's important. Get after it. I want you on board with us. Find your why and then join us. Visit warriorsaints.org. We're going to be back tomorrow again for all of our Western Christian brothers and sisters. Happy, blessed, Holy Week to all of you. And for those who are Orthodox Christian brothers and sisters, get ready because it's coming. Love you, beautiful people. Be back tomorrow. Until then, as always, keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.